What up, what up, what up? This is your boy Roy, and you are now tuned into Back to Center Podcast, the only podcast dedicated to life, love, and the millennial struggle. Welcome and happy Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, as usual, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We've got inflated egos between weightlifting women and average guys. We've got a guy who had an ex-wife and he stormed into the house to get the other dude out. And then we got a super sad story about a gentleman who's been a father for 51 years and then recently found out he is not the father. And then finally, we're going to end it with some tips on how you could lose some weight. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on? Hope y'all had a great Monday. Of course, your boy has been living life. Life has been lifing. But beyond that, I hope you guys are okay. Anyway, sorry if you hear some creaking. My boom arm is loud as hell. So if I have to adjust the mic, you might hear a little creak from time to time. But I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Don't really want to waste a lot of time. I know sometimes with these intros, I just be like yapping and stuff. But let's get straight into it. We're going to be talking about something a little different today. Not necessarily different, but more so in the realms of what we normally talk about, right? So in the space of weightlifting or just, exercise in general, there's always, and we've seen this throughout media, we've seen this play out, numerous different ways, but specifically when it comes to fitness, there's always a gender war. And to be quite honest with you, I don't understand it. I just want to say one thing first. Firstly, there's nothing wrong with being different, right? Like naturally, women and men are going to be different in regards to physique, strength, endurance, conditioning, etc., etc. But sometimes we've got ego issues, all right? We've got major ego issues in the fitness industry. And like I said, I'm not going to take too much time. We're going to go ahead and jump into it. I forgot the creator's name, but I'll go ahead and put it in the description and let's play.
3 guys with big egos versus 3 girls with even bigger muscles. Someone's getting dragged. I didn't work. It's gonna be them.
What? Seriously?
First event, sandbag drag. Both teams are gonna drag a 100-pound sandbag down to the barrel twice and back. First team back here, past the barrel, wins. 2 rules, you can't touch the sandbag and the sandbag cannot leave the ground. My command to go, you're gonna proceed.
I'm Brooke McCluskey. I'm a powerlifter. This is nothing for me. The fit chicks will come out on top.
My name is Wesley Spinner. Well, I guess I'm just average. I don't do anything in particular very well.
Go!
I just want to note the difference in compartment or just, composure, right? How people handle themselves. Now, listen, this is not an attack on women. That's not my main objective. And personally, I don't really give a shit. But here's what I would say. Of course, you're going to have your strong women and there's going to be women that are outliers, right? But ladies, y'all are not stronger than us. I'm sorry. You're not stronger than us. And there's no reason for you to be upset about this. No reason at all. Like I said, we all have our own differences. Some things men do better than women and vice versa, right? So we have to be able as a society to have some sort of appreciation for it. But I don't know. I just think it's really interesting, the egos between the two groups. But let's continue. Right after I hit play.
There's a lot of bungee in that sandbag.
I'm a dad of 3 that pretty much just tries to stay in shape, would just keep up with my kids.
Average Joe's taking off first, past the barrel.
I work out 6 days a week. I usually train between 1 and 3 hours every single day.
So you got down, back. Conserve energy, don't gas out. You have 4 more events after this, y'all. 4 more events. Do not gas out in the first event.
Don't be offended that we're stronger than you. I'm a reservist now.
Yo, this lady is mad annoying. This lady right here, the one in the red, I'm telling you, the most annoying throughout this entire thing. Because I've seen this before. And I already watched it. Not like, I watched the entire thing. But, yo, there is something has to be said about this. This is crazy. And, on top of that as well, like, again, this is not me trying to make a slight on anyone, obviously in particular to women. But what I find really interesting is that the women that carry that false sense of bravado, and as guys, we could see it in other guys too, like the guy who thinks he's hella macho, but really not. For some reason, some of those women who see masculinity, they have adopted that ideology of just being like this overly machismo kind of guy. And it just doesn't work. Like you try to come off as confident, and you are, right? But much like the men who act that way, a large part of it, comes off as not only condescending, but also a little insecure. I mean, if you have to remind people day in, day out that you are strong or you're stronger than them, are you really strong? I mean, wouldn't that be proven in, not only this competition, but just how you move and how you do things in general? But I don't know. It might be a moot point to some, but personally, I just feel like that's something that, we can do without.
The duty for 8 years.
Go, 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 go. If y'all can speed it up and sprint, you can catch them. They're slowing down significantly. Average Joe's in the lead.
I am Jesus Miguel Chavez. The reason I'm here today is because I reacted to a Craigslist ad. The individual here said fun times. So this is not what I expected.
Hey, Sus, watch the bag.
They said this wasn't cardio. Yeah. What the fuck? I'm still drunk. Sorry.
Talking all that shit, and now you're making excuses. Sad.
It's brute strength. It's the Mountain Dew I had. Walk it out, walk it out.
135, 136. Average Joe's past the barrel. We're just getting started. 4 events left. You are not going to want to miss the last one.
There's no way.
Event number 2, fill the barrel. Y'all's job is to take the smaller bucket down to the ocean, run back, fill up the barrel halfway. But there's a surprise. The bucket has holes in it.
Holes.
What?
3, 2, 1, go! I don't know why they're all 3 running. Average Joe's have a very,
Why did they all go?
that's what I'm thinking.
Pretty average of them.
Pretty average of them. Yo, and this is the shit that gets so exhaustive, right? Let me just hit the buzzer on this hoe. Yo, this shit gets so exhaustive. Just like, guys that act like this are annoying, but women that act like this are so fucking annoying. Like every chance you get, you try to throw a jab at someone, and it's not even like, it's not like you're winning a title, you're winning a championship, none of that. But you're just taking shots. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure they don't know these guys, right? So, I mean, yeah, is the strategy stupid? Probably. But guess who you think is going to win? Go ahead and leave that in the comments below. Let's continue.
Fill it fast. Come on, come on, come on.
Nice,
Come
nice,
on,
nice,
Wes.
nice. Good.
You're leaking. Good fill, good fill. So far, we got Average Joe's with just a little bit more water in there.
Stay in the water.
Come on, Brandon.
I'm gonna go all the way.
Wes is gunning it, not even worrying about the hole.
I realized that they were saving energy by doing the little assembly line thing. Let me fill it. Do the assembly line. Thought it would be smarter for us to kind of change it up, kind of do that one of us.
Oh, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? You went from essentially chastising these dudes for their strategy, and now you adopt it because you realize it works. Interesting how that works.
The water.
There we go. Wes is quick.
Keep it full, keep it full.
Yep.
Put some spinach in there. It doesn't come out of the bucket. So they're focusing on volume of bucket fills.
I would say anything that has endurance involved. I feel like I'm pretty above average. This is light work. I do this every day. Brandon, take one lap. Take one lap.
This may be an upset for the fitness ladies.
Try to plug the holes.
These are very much cardio events. Good job, Brandon. Almost there. Maybe like 1 or 2 more bucket fills. Bring it in, Brooke. Bring it in, Brooke. There we go. Very concise. One more bucket fill. One more for Average Joe's. Looks like 2 more for the women. Average Joe's coming in. Is this going to do it? Average Joe, fill the barrel. All right, Average Joe's, you came out on top. What was your strategy?
Put water in the barrel.
Nice, good strategy.
Easy as that. Put water in the barrel. That's it. And again, it's something so simple, right? Like just a simple example of how teamwork or just how men and women function differently in those settings. And it's not that one is better than the other, but to go out of your way to criticize one when you don't understand what's happening and then try to adopt the very same practices and strategies in order to win is hilarious. You look like a clown, in my personal opinion.
To analyze this event, it would be that teamwork makes the dream work. From the beginning, we probably would have changed it and done the assembly line from the start.
Why did they all go?
That's what I'm thinking. We have 3 events left, all strength events. Event number 3, deadlifts. Each person will deadlift 10 reps. At the end of each set, you will rotate. The first team did not complete their 10 reps loses. Any questions?
I have a question for Neon Laces. With your running shoes, would you like a lesson on how to deadlift?
Bruh. Yo, somebody get this lady off the show, fam. Get her off the fucking show. Like, why? I used to get bullied when I was younger. I used to get bullied when I was younger. I didn't get bullied by women, but I remember when kids would just try to take random shots. You know, like I would just be in gym catching strays because I was fat. Like, bro, are we serious right now? Like, what is the point? And I don't know. Maybe somebody could say this is triggering me, right? Like, I'm not easily offended, right? But when I hear grown ass adults act like this, and yeah, sure, one could say it's a competition, but again, why are you talking shit? You're losing. Like, you're literally losing this competition. All three of you collectively are losing this competition, and yet somehow you still find the need to keep talking that shit. Crazy, man. It's crazy.
Sure. I have nothing to prove today. I am here to have fun because that's what life's all about, having fun.
Ready? Mount the bar. Rep.
Let's go.
There's one. Set it down. Yep. Rep 2.
Go. It's that bodybuilder. Right now I'm deadlifting about like 315 per rep. I just keep it light.
Last rep. Rep 10.
Endurance, bro. Let's go.
Great job. Great form. Rotate. Next up. 3, 2, 1. Rep.
So let's go.
Good.
I think just knowing what the average male can deadlift and what I can deadlift, we're like here maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I could be humbled today.
Good. Rep 4.
I'd like to think people that are more fit would win. One thing I am sure of, though, I will finish this pack of crackers.
Both teams complete. Rotate.
Good job.
Let's go.
Third round. Jesus and Vera. Vera, anything to say to your opponent?
I'm watching you, neon laces.
3, 2, 1. Rep.
There we go.
Let's go, Jesus.
Rep 1.
There we go.
Let's go,
Rep
Jesus!
2.
There you go. Watch your knees. Watch
He
your
probably deadlift a little bit more than an average guy.
Rep 6.
I'll be really good at deadlifting for a long time. I can do that.
knees. Easy, easy.
Yeah.
There we
There
go.
you go.
Good. Rotate.
Yeah, just
Rep
warming
6.
up. Let's go.
Rep 4.
There you go. Easy, easy, easy.
I've done a few ultra marathons. I've completed a 50 miler, 100K, 334 Spartan mutters. I competed in the Hypercon games last year. Rally in the Valley. I competed in High Rock 7, 8, 9, 10. So
Yo, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. No one cares. Literally, no one cares. No one invited you to this show for that reason. And you know what else is kind of annoying? Like, the idea of being hype, or, I mean, one could be proud, right? But the idea of thinking that being stronger than the average man is an accomplishment, it really isn't. I mean, the average guy is what, like 5'7", 170, 185 pounds, obviously works a 9 to 5 and isn't really that active. Like, great, you're beating the human version of a slug. Are you really that proud of yourself? I'm stronger than the average guy. Who gives a fuck? No one cares. This is not like a, oh my God, you're the greatest. No one cares. And the craziest reality is that in her realm, in her like universe of strong women, for all we know, she could be at the bottom of the barrel because there are some ridiculously strong women and they definitely do deserve a shout out. It's perfectly okay to acknowledge that there are women that are strong. But, you know, to be proud that you're stronger than the average dude, like, okay, great. I'm smarter than a newborn. Someone give me a Nobel Prize. Like, what are we arguing here?
I've done quite a few things. Pretty successful overall.
My training as of recently has been sitting down. I don't spend much time in the gym, but that's okay because I'm here to have fun.
30 total reps for each team. We're going to keep going. Rep 9.
He's getting tired. He was slow on the last one.
Rep 5. Come on, pull Jesus. Pull Jesus.
There you go. There you go. Don't hurt yourself.
Rep 6.
Okay, good effort.
Hey! I knew we had this event from the beginning. Looking forward to an actual strength event with this to be able to actually use our muscle.
Like the good old saying from Rocky IV says, if he dies, he dies.
Jesus, it ain't that serious.
Fourth event, Kugel push.
One thing I want to note about what the woman said about, you know, more strength-based challenges. Yo, from a fitness perspective, as a former coach, I mean, I'm still a coach, just don't really be coaching. Yo, side note, the reason why I don't coach that much anymore is because y'all fat, I'm going to say an expletive. Y'all fat niggas are annoying, man. Y'all are annoying. And I'm using that word for everyone, right? It doesn't matter what color. But no, y'all are annoying because y'all would pay me $1,200, $1,500, $2,000 for 3 months and not lose any weight. I'd make you a workout program. We'd train 4 days a week. an hour, sometimes an hour and a half, and would not lose any weight. And then when I ask you what the reason is, you tell me it's some bullshit, right? Like, we all know it's your diet, right? We know you're still drinking, whatever the case may be. This is what I want to say, fellas. If you are the type of person who is overweight, right? You looking like one of these average Joes over here on the screen. If you are one of these dudes and you want to get in shape, not to be stronger than strong woman, but you want to get in shape, stuff like that. Today, towards the end of this episode, for the main topic of conversation, we're going to be talking about weight loss. We're going to be talking about ways you could actually lose some weight and actually keep that shit off. And I'll share some of my own supplements as well. Now, before I even note, I do want to say one thing. First and foremost, not only am I not your coach, I'm not your doctor. So if you take any of that advice and apply it and you die, fam, that's not my problem. That's yours. That's not my problem. It's yours. Okay. So take all the information with a fucking grain of salt. But here's what I was trying to get to before. So she mentioned a lot of like strength-based exercises for the competition and for competition's sake. But yo, that's not the true marker of health and fitness. That's not the marker of fitness whatsoever. The reality is, if you are not cardiovascularly conditioned to do certain movements, I mean, our bodies are built to move, right? Of course, we are strong because we adapt to our environments and, we work with and counterbalance the weight that's put against us with gravity and all this other stuff, right? But what I'm trying to get at here is, if you are solely focused on the strength aspect of your fitness regimen, you are not fit. You're just strong. You can just move stuff. But what is the point of moving things like once or twice or maybe even 10 times, right? If it's also being done inefficiently, without power and without any sort of precision. You have to be holistic with your fitness approach. Like, you have to cover every aspect: nutrition, physical, mental, sleep. All of those things play a role. And if you're not going to, either highlight or make those other things an additional priority, even though technically priority is only one thing, right? But if you're not going to take care of those other things, then you won't reach your apex. You won't be as fit as you think you could be. And this goes for guys and girls. But again, take it with a grain of salt. If you want that advice, then go for it. If not, then hey, I guess be happy being fat. But anyway, let's continue.
Wes, what do you... Each match will go 3 rounds. The team with the most accumulative points at the end will take the win for this event. Here are the rules. No face striking, no striking in the groin, no striking in the chest. Everybody down? Fit ladies, ready?
I think that they are men that don't know what they're in for.
Average Joe's ready?
No, I'm not threatened. Not even a little bit.
3, 2, 1, go!
Come on, Brandon.
First one out of the circle loses. Get in, Montana. Get in.
Montana.
Come on,
Montana
Get low.
is a black belt in McMath. Don't go down the circle.
Stay low.
That was close. That was a foot. Get it. Montana putting up a fight. Get it.
Oh.
Montana. First point for Average Joe's. 3, 2, 1, go. Second point.
Come on, you.
Get him out of that circle. Get him out of that circle, Montana.
Push.
Montana feet still in the circle. Uh-oh, she got that squat streak. Pushes Brandon out of the circle. 1 point. This is the final point for this match. 3, 2, 1, go. Get it.
There you go.
Get out of that circle.
Reset.
Brandon put on heavy defense.
Yeah.
Montana pushing out of the circle. She's dropped down to the knees, getting a lot of strength from the bottom. Now to intertwine.
There you go. Come on.
Drive.
Yeah, they're like past each other. It's like
Push.
wrestling
This
now.
is a full body strength,
Brandon.
full body movement.
There you go.
Brandon, you just tip her over just one time. There it is.
Good game.
2 points for the Joes.
I'm just trying not to hurt him.
Cope is crazy. The cope is crazy. The cope is insane. Bro has like damn near 6-7 inches on her in terms of height, right? And she goes, I was just not trying to hurt him. God damn it, man. The ego is so large on these women. It's actually not only palpable, but also quite funny. Let's continue.
On top. It's almost lunchtime. Are we getting pizza out here?
I'll take some Coca-Cola.
Diet Coke. Try to keep it healthy.
We have Jesus and Vera. Average Joe's ready? Ladies ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
Get in there. Low. Hey!
Oh,
Hey!
Jesus.
That was a face hit. What are you guys talking about?
1 point for the fitness ladies. No face striking, no groin, no chest strike. If I see it again.
Sorry, I didn't realize I had my shit on mute. Isn't that crazy that they still gave her the point anyway? Now, let's just say Jose was the one that hit her in the face. They would have deducted the point, but hey, that's neither here nor there, right?
We'll pause it and we'll reset. 3, 2, 1, go.
Stay low. Get low.
Oh, she
He
went
hit
out
it
first.
first. He was out first. Roll it back. Roll it back.
After footage review, the play on the field stands. 1 point for Jesus, 1 point for Vera. Last and final point for this round. 3, 2, 1, go.
God.
4 points.
There you go. There you go. Stop fucking playing around. Listen, I'm not saying go hard, you know, try to injure them, whatever the case may be. But if you are going to pull up to a competition knowing damn well physically you are outnumbered, even if the guy is average, and you're still going to pop all this shit just to get put up like that, that's crazy. That's crazy. Stop playing with him. Stop playing with him. I don't even know why they were like wasting their time with all this lollygagging. Yeah, I would have sent her across the beach, bro. I would have sent her across the beach.
Total for the average Joes, 2 points total for the fitness ladies. But this last round could change it all. We have Brooke versus Wes. Average Joes ready?
Ready.
Fitness ladies ready? 3, 2, 1, go. That was close. Average Joes.
Exactly. Finish
Point.
her shit. Finish her
My
shit.
ego's hurting.
Round 2, 3, 2, 1, go. It's still good. It's still good. She has to make it out of the circle. Average Joe's point. Last and final point. 3, 2, 1, go. Good strength by Brooke. Average Joe's point.
Good game.
Yo, she got straight up bullied. Straight up bullied. And it's so funny because if you remember the clips prior, who was talking the most shit? She was. She was talking the most shit out of everyone. And it's funny because the guys aren't even saying anything. They're like, yeah, we're just here. We're chilling. The ladies are taking this so serious. And I'm not saying it's satisfying, right? Like, I don't have schadenfreude or whatever the phrase is called. But I'm just saying, like, if you're going to go out of your way to talk this much about the average dude and you can't beat the average dude, first of all, you need to reconsider your fitness program because clearly it's not working. If you can't beat the guy who literally is eating like a Twinkie or crackers in the middle of your competition and he doesn't work out, yeah, your fitness program sucks. I'll just keep it a buck.
3 points for average Joes, 1 point for strong ladies. This is absolutely crazy. I thought this is going a completely different way than I originally anticipated. Last final event, tug of war, the ultimate test of strength and endurance. Humans have been tugging for thousands of years.
What?
First team past the barrel loses. Do you guys understand? Do you guys
Watch how easy
understand?
this is.
When I
Fellas,
release the rope,
fellas,
you guys
watch
are
how
going
easy
to
this
tug.
is.
3, 2, 1, go!
One. Pull the slack. 3. Oh, it didn't work.
Pull.
Oh, the whole
You guys,
team?
you hold it. Yeah, hold.
Bruh, y'all seen what I'm seeing? Bruh. What is going on here? Are these women even fit? Let's keep it a buck.
Hold it. Pull back. There we go. The whole team has to be past the barrel. You guys pull. Fitness ladies are holding them. Pull, Montana.
Hold it.
Pull.
Heave.
You guys will have full and power. Pull. If y'all synchronize, 3, 2, 1, pull. Montana just past the barrel. Average Joe's take the W.
That's right. Average Joe's out here taking the W. Let me drop a flex bomb for him. Let me drop another one right after this one. Now, fellas, I just want to say this is a clear demonstration of what it means when not just science or just, reality hits, but, truthfully what it means to not only be an average man, but also to kind of like live in this atmosphere of where, you're constantly being scrutinized at every turn. Now, I also know that ladies have faced that as well. But if we're talking about growth and quote unquote equality, I'm not exactly sure if that's the same route you want to go in regards to, making shit fair. But that's just me. Now, what I'm saying here is not necessarily even correlated to this, but more importantly, I think it's an important lesson in humility. Not only humility, but also it's an important lesson in just having the understanding and the wherewithal to know that, again, it's okay. Like, yo, there are men that are weaker than other men. There are women that are weaker than other women, and vice versa, right? Like, there are men that are stronger, whatever the case may be. It's okay to not be that strong. I mean, personally speaking, unless you're a dude. If you are Jose and you're getting beat out on the deadlifts, fam, you're gonna have to work out a little bit more. But understand this. Let's make this insanely clear. It's okay for both men and women to have their differences. What's not okay is when you start categorizing or scrutinizing people for said differences, right? That's never okay. But at the end of the day, can we all just come to the understanding and the realization that, yo, there are going to be women that are strong, but they're not all going to be stronger than men. And there are going to be some men that, inherently might be strong, but they might not be stronger than some women, and that's okay. Wherever you are in this life or on this this journey, whatever you want to call it, wherever you are, it's okay to have differences and to be on a different level, a level above or a level below. Blah blah blah. Kumbaya shit. You know what I'm trying to say, right? Anyway, let's move on to the next story. I talked about this in the beginning of the intro. Moving on to the next story, we got a man who breaks into his ex-girlfriend's house and makes her new man leave. Now, first of all, the source is Yo TV Podcast. I have no idea what that is, but if you want to go look for them, then go ahead, go find it. But first of all, here's my thing. If this woman is your ex, right? Well, obviously, you're gonna have some attachments, some hang-ups as well. But if you're trying to, I don't know, rekindle something or, just get some closure for a situation, my question to you is, what is the point of entering her home? Like you're breaking in, right? This is a B&E. You're breaking and entering into someone's home, and then you're trying to get the new guy to leave. Where we do that at? Can someone make that make sense to me? Because where are we doing that at? Well, what is the point of that? But anyway, like I said, we got a guy who breaks into his old chick's crib and then he tries to get the guy to leave. Let's see how this breaks down.
Okay, get your motherfucking self up.
You jumped like you finna throw a kick or something. I'm trying to see.
I ain't worried about that kick. I will break his ass. Look at me, homie. I cut my hair not too long ago. My name Legend. They call me New York.
Call me Fade.
I know the fuck you are, nigga. I know who the fuck you are, nigga. That don't mean shit to me. This is my motherfucking woman. This is my house. You see this picture still here? It's my mama and my aunt, nigga. Everything in here, me, nigga. Rick Legend, Master Chief, motherfucker. 6-star, concrete motherfucking general. Everything in here, Rick, me, nigga. You prepared to die for that pussy? I am.
Y'all niggas are crazy, bro. Y'all are crazy. Man, I'm gonna let this one play out. I didn't mean to pause it, but I just had to throw that one in there. Y'all niggas are crazy.
So get the fuck up out of here. Fuck you. Fuck your child, nigga. I'll bury you in that motherfucker. Now what you gonna do? I'm with it, nigga. I'm a goon. I'm giving you a pass. Get the fuck up out my motherfucking house. Me and a woman going through some shit. We going through some shit. With your weird ass, you gonna get the fuck up out my house. This is an alpha male right here, nigga. This is an alpha male. Learn me. I'm from the streets of Harlem, New York City. I'm gonna kill for what's mine. Get your shit and get the fuck up out of here. Because when I come back, you better be gone.
Woo! Man, that guy, shit. Well, where do we start? I mean, here's my thought. Firstly, the idea that you and your woman are going through some challenges is normal, right? Every relationship has its difficulties. They all have their challenges. Some might be worse than others, but, they're present. They're there. What doesn't make sense to me is the fact that you see her with another man. Could be a rebound. Could be something, not serious, right? But I don't know. In my personal opinion, I wouldn't take that as an indication to try and work on things. Like if I had an ex and I seen her with someone else, in my mind, that clearly tells me, in again, this could be a rebound or whatever the case may be, but I don't care because I don't know, right? If you, instead of trying to fix an issue or work through things, decide to then go ahead and, sleep with someone else, then this relationship is cooked. What the fuck are we talking about? What the fuck are we talking about? This relationship is fucking cooked. So to see a grown man run up in his old chick's crib and then threaten to take this dude out. This dude doesn't know him from, like, I don't know, a hole in the wall. He has no idea who he is. What's even worse is that he had to get on the bed. He had to jump on the bed to be eye to eye with this man. Bro, it's cooked. It's cooked, man. Just leave it alone. Fellas, let this be the ultimate lesson. If you are in a relationship and you're trying to work on things, but clearly your woman is either seeing someone else, is openly, and knowingly dating someone else, like you're seeing her social media or whatever the case may be, brother, leave it alone. Now, I'm not going to be one of these guys who's going to say, oh, go to the gym, get brolic, get rich, make her regret leaving you, or whatever the case may be. But you could find much more peace and much more solace in developing yourself, not for the next person. But what I mean is taking the time to understand the dynamics and what really happened in your relationship. This way it doesn't fucking happen again. Because honestly, I think that's where a lot of us go wrong, right? Like sometimes we try to assume that the reason why some relationships were to crumble or whatever may happen is simply due to someone else. But that's not always the case. And granted, it takes two to tango, right? But sometimes we're involved in that. We're not perfect. None of us are perfect. And much like how some women call all their exes narcissists, and I fail to see that, I also fail to see how some men can call all their exes crazy. Because those two things, they don't make sense, right? Like, we don't live in a world of absolutes. There's a lot of nuance in this shit. But one thing I know is absolutely for certain. If your old chick is getting digged down by somebody new, dog, it's time for you to go. It's time for you to go. What else is there? Because otherwise, what might end up happening is you end up like our next story, which is, man, let me tell y'all something right now. I'm going to tell y'all something right the fuck now. If this were me, fam, if this was me, I'm crashing out. I'm crashing out. I don't care. I don't care. I'm crashing out, dog. There's no way I'm going to be in a marriage for 51 years and then find out that my children aren't mine. Let's watch. Oh, shit. I didn't mean to do that. But no, for real. Let's watch because this shit is crazy.
I have been married for 51 years. Got 2 sons, 42 and 40. Damn deadbeats. I'm still supporting the little boogers. Needed to take a test to see if any of us had a kidney good enough for my brother. Found out something interesting. They ain't my kids. There's somebody else's.
This man is a better man than me. I'll say that right now. This man is a much better man than I will ever be. Because I'm telling you right now, dog, if this was me 51 years deep and I found out that my 40 and 42-year-old sons were not my sons, fam, that house is getting blown up. Yeah. I'm doing jail time. I'm going straight to jail, fam, because the rate at which I would crash out would be damn near astronomical. Because again, I find it so frustrating that, and again, granted, I'm not promoting marriage, right? Like whatever you think is a good solution for your dating and relationship woes is ultimately up to you, right? There's so much nuance in these conversations. It's really hard for someone to just come up with a one size fits all, right? Like one guy will tell you to trick, another guy will tell you to be a simp, another one will tell you to never get married, another one will tell you this, another one will tell you that. Dog, you got to figure this shit out for yourself. But one thing I know is absolutely for certain, if this was me, everyone's getting clapped. Everyone's getting clapped. I'm sorry. I don't even condone violence like that, but if it were me, which I thank God it's not, everyone's getting clapped. Anyway, let's return to this brother. Again, much better than me. Let's hear this out.
Of course, the only good thing is, I know it's not my fault that those two idiots got dumped into this world. Hell, I thought they took after their mother. Instead, they take after the plumber or the postman or the milkman, or yeah, there were milkmen back when they came around. I mean, God only knows. It sure gets old. I do wish I knew who the real fathers were, and they ain't the same. She was bopping a couple of different guys. But if I could figure out who they were, I've been practicing law long enough that I pretty well figure I could sue their ass and get all my money back that I sunk into those two deadbeats. It just chaps my ass that she couldn't tell me. I'd probably forgiven her. Maybe not.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
You know how it is.
I ain't forgiving shit.
Yeah, boys. Y'all need to go get your own paternity test. You can't tell by looking who's the daddy, unless you're looking down at the genetic level. I've been in court thousands of times in paternity suits, and 4 out of 5 times, guy says he ain't the daddy, he's right.
4 out of 5 times. 4 out of 5 times. That's scary. Yo, if you're a dad right now, I need you to do yourself a favor. I need you to make sure that those kids are yours, because here's the reality, bro. You're going to spend, who knows, like in perpetuity, right? Because it's not like you have a kid, they turn 18, you kick them out the door. I mean, for some parents, it's kick them out the door and then they're done, right? But for, I guess you could say, the good parents, for the parents who care, you may be taking care of your child in perpetuity. Much like he said, like he's still taking care of these little boogers, which, again, much better do than me, because once I found out they weren't my kids, you're on your own. Why don't you go find your dad? How about that one? You're more than old enough to go find your father. You probably should go do that. Again, he managed to say that, he probably would have forgiven her. Nah, we don't do that over here. There's no way you can forgive that kind of infidelity. Think about it. She's been living a lie. She's been living a lie for 40 years. Anyone who could live a lie for 40 years plus should not be trusted. Should not be trusted. I mean, granted, if anyone living a lie, obviously shorter than that, should also not be trusted. But I'm just saying, anyone living a lie for 40 plus years, smiling in his face, the birthdays, the dinners, the graduations, the parties, the trips, the arguing, all of that shit was a waste because they weren't even your seed. And you know what's crazier than that? There's some dudes who are willing to be stepdaddy, which, listen, stepdads can be a good thing, right? Like I remember in my life, I almost had an opportunity to have a stepdad, but hey, my mom at the time, she was focused on other things, to say the least. So more or less, that was an opportunity that I missed out on, which isn't a big deal. But I say all that to say that, yes, stepdads or just step-parents in general can be a good influence. But what I find ultimately confusing is that the guys that are willing to be, or women, because there are women in this case who do this as well, but the guys that are willing to be stepdad, knowing the potential ramifications, knowing the fact that you too could end up in child support for those children simply by the fact that you're taking care of them de facto, is a little scary. I mean, I don't know, man. Like you really have to love someone, and when I say love someone, I mean be stupid. Like you really have to love someone enough to want to take that kind of risk. Relationships are already risky, right? And they require a lot of work. But to add that into the mix with the potential of the partner still being around, or the parent in this case, the co-parent still being around, it just, whatever that kind of scenario also entails, why would you want any part of that? How many guys have you seen get done up? We just played a video of some dude from her past trying to come back, right? And take his spot. Imagine being a stepdad and the father's like a fucking psycho and he's still around. Do you really want that? Like, you really want someone coming after you? Like, they're his kids. He's going to have to see them at some point, which means, ergo, he's going to run into you. The only question is, what are you going to do when that happens? I don't know. Couldn't be me. Let's go ahead and finish this video, though. Grandpa got a lot to say, and I'm here for it.
And the genetic test are the only way to prove it for sure. These women are hopping everything that looks fun. You thought you liked sex. You ain't nothing. Well, I guess that pretty well completes that story. I'll go home, start drafting up some divorce papers, see if I can't get free of that crazy bitch. I mean, I stayed with her for the sake of the children and the grandchildren, now the great-grandchildren. But they ain't no kin of mine. Fuck 'em.
Cold, fam. Hold on. What is this shit playing in the back? I don't know what the fuck that is. Let me just close this shit real quick. Sorry, gentlemen. But, man, cold world that we live in, there's something to be said about this. The reality of being a father inherently comes with a lot of risk. And I mean, again, dating in relationships in itself is a challenge. But when you add these additional scenarios, now you're just compounding the issue. And then the sad part is when you hit this crescendo of all these things happening, right? Like you find out your children of like 40 years aren't yours, your wife was cheating on you. Like, yo, there is oftentimes for men, and this is not me saying, like trying to be an advocate for the lonely male epidemic. A lot of y'all are just assholes and no one likes you. That's the reality of it. But what I'm trying to say here is a lot of times guys are inherently on their own to deal with something like this, right? And before we go to break, I'll leave y'all with this. I remember my brother Jerry, rest in peace, before he passed away, I was going through a lot of relationship shit. This was like 6-7 years ago. And, I would talk to him about relationships because he was older than me by at least 7 to 8 years, maybe even a decade almost. Sometimes I forget his age. Sorry, bro. But, when I was talking to him about dating and relationship stuff, he would never give me any answers. Like, he would give me, like half-ass advice here and there. But when I asked for something specific, I would never get like a clear-cut answer. And a lot of the times what he would tell me is, you have to find these things out on your own, which is, kind of fucked up in my personal opinion. But that is the reality for men. A lot of times we have to figure these things out on our own. And once you hit that stage where now you have kids, you're in too deep, you're married, you just find out that they're not yours, this, that, and the third, now you've got a whole other host of problems. So guys, be careful. You want to be in relationships, which is fine. You want to be a stepdad, which I mean, I guess is fine too. But regardless, if there's going to be, if you're going to have a new spawn within the clique, my personal opinion, I think you should get tested. Get a paternity test. And that, like, women, if there's a woman listening to this, women should not be insulted by this, right? Because granted, let's say you didn't cheat, right? Who knows? Still, just for the sake of the guy, because, the baby's yours, right? Like, it's literally coming out of your portal. But I have no idea if my swimmers made it to the end. And on top of that, there's some swimmers that actually fight each other. And it could be from two different males. So now the plot thickens. Pause. Major pause. Anyway, when we come back from the break, we're going to be talking about a couple ways you could lose weight. The supplements that, in my personal and professional opinion, have helped me. I'll be offering them to you. But much like I said before, I'll say it again. If you take these supplements, first of all, I'm not your doctor and I'm not your coach. I'm not your personal trainer. That's first and foremost. If you decide to take these supplements and you die, I said it before and I'm going to say it again. Fam, that's not on me. That's on you. That's all I'm saying. You die because you take these supplements, that's your fault. But anyway, when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about that and then wrap everything up. Once again, this is your boy Roy, and you've been tuned into Back to Center Podcast. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So, your boy is back. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed the break. I'm gonna try to not make these breaks too long, right? I know for some people, they tend to just lose their attention span or whatever the case may be. So, try and keep them to about 2 minutes. Hopefully, that one wasn't too long. But without any further ado, gentlemen, let's get into it. So, here you can't see it on the screen, but I've got a bunch of supplements that I take. And before I even go into like the supplementation, just to give y'all a little bit of background on me, if you don't know, a former personal trainer, in-person personal trainer. Now I do a lot of like virtual and life coaching. From that point, before I decided to do like the life coaching and stuff, I used to work at multiple big box gyms. I've worked at Crunch, New York Sports Club, LA Fitness, Planet Fitness. I've worked at a boutique. And then finally, I made my final pit stop before starting my business at Equinox. So I've learned a lot throughout that time, and I really got to say shout out to Equinox, because Equinox does something incredible. They decide to teach their trainers and teach their coaches with college level stuff. So not only are you getting paid to help people get in shape, the ones that actually want to get in shape, but you're also learning along the way, which if anything just sets you up for more success in the future. So I've lost about 120 something pounds Back in the day, like 2017, 2018, I was about 260 pounds. I was in a terrible relationship. And, your boy almost took his own life. Just being honest. Your boy almost took a dirt nap because everything just seemed like it was so challenging. And I guess while I'm here, I can give you a little bit of motivation as well. And, for myself, I do a lot of acting and modeling now. And, 2024, 2023, 2024 was 2 years worth of a lot of work. And then as of recent, I found myself kind of like slowing down in regards to work. And sometimes that could be daunting. But what I want to say, it pertains to fitness. But here's what I want to say. Sometimes at some point along your journey, you're going to feel like shit isn't moving, right? You're going to feel like things aren't going in the direction that you'd like it to. And no matter how much you work at it, things just keep, more or less piling up. What I'd like to say is at that moment, that's when things can get, incredibly better, right? And I think it's important, especially as men, it's important that we remember, although we are going to be going through these challenges in life, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's the end all be all for the things that we're trying to achieve, right? Sometimes these things just take a little bit of time. And in regards to fitness, if you're on a weight loss journey, which by the way, you could download my PDF in the description. If you are on this fitness journey and you've just started, you're relatively new to this kind of stuff, then yeah, it's going to be a little more difficult for you. But like I said before, keep the faith, keep working, stay consistent with it, and eventually you'll get where you want to be, right? Like I didn't just wake up and become 160 pounds shredded, overnight, you know what I mean? And even then, like the most weight I lost at that time, I was only down to about like 185. So I still had to continuously work to get as lean as possible. Now, do I want to be 160 pounds again at my height? Not necessarily, because I look like I don't eat, right? Like I'm emaciated. But in this case, I think the supplements that I'm taking here in regards to helping with weight loss and fat loss, because I gained some pounds over the last couple of months, admittedly, it's life, right? But these supplements should be able to help you out. So without further ado, I'm going to go through the supplements, and I'm just going to say this again while I'm fixing my chair. Yo, y'all see me out here struggling with this chair. I need y'all to do me a favor. You need to go onto Amazon and buy me a chair or make a donation. You can send me a donation to Cash App. I'm just playing with y'all. But anyway, I'm going to say this one more time because again, I'm not your coach. I'm not your doctor. I'm just the guy who was as fat as you, if not fatter, and lost weight. And these are some of the things that helped me. If you choose to take this advice, you're taking it on your own risk. I'm going to say that one more time. You're taking this advice on your own risk. If you die, it's not my fault. Anyway, let's start with the first supplement, which isn't really a supplement at all. I don't know if y'all could see that, but the first thing here is called Bronchade. Now, if you are a millennial, you're like a 90s baby or an 80s baby, you'll know that a lot of the weight loss supplements, i.e. like Stacker 2, the shit that really worked, had ephedra in it, right? Without going into too much of the science, ephedra essentially can help boost your metabolism or your thermogenic properties and help you burn more body fat. Typically, ephedra is paired with coffee, but again, if you have heart problems, you've got palpitations, you're fat and you eat greasy shit all day, you've got clots, do not take this because you will die. You will definitely die. So do not do this to yourself. And if you are going to decide to do this, take them in small doses. So let me go ahead and pull out one of these pills real quick. I don't even know if I can show. Can I show pills on YouTube? I guess fuck it, we'll find out. But anyway, these are how big the pills are. I don't know if y'all can see that, but these are how big the pills are. They're not too bad. You just take one a day. I like to do it in cycles, right? So I'll take one a day for 3-4 weeks. And of course I have additional supplements that I stack it with. But before I go work out, I'll take one of these. It also helps with breathing too. But I'll take one of these and then I'll drink some coffee or I'll have my pre-workout and then I'll get into my workout for the day. So moving on to the next thing. This one is a supplement as well. It's called Yohimbe. Let's see if y'all can see this. Sorry. It's called Yohimbe. It's by Primaforce and it's a hydrochloride. Hydrochloride is a more pure form of Yohimbe. And honestly, side note, none of these are sponsored, by the way. I primarily trust Primaforce. I've been taking it for about 5 years now, and I haven't had any adverse effects whatsoever. So I definitely recommend this. This is also for metabolic support. It'll help boost your metabolism in regards to digestion and thermogenic properties. Not only that, but it's also great for sexual wellness. So listen, I'm saying if you're trying to rail something, you're going to be able to. That's all I'm saying here. But I like to stack these two things together, although I don't take them at the same time because it's also important that you don't do that. But I don't take them at the same time. I take the Bronchade in the morning. In the afternoon, with my multivitamins, I'll then take the Yohimbe. But here's what I do stack with my Bronchade. Chromium picolinate. I don't know if y'all can see this. Chromium picolinate is great for blood sugar regulation. Because the reality is, if you spike your blood sugar, it then becomes harder for your body to metabolize and process not only the things that you ate, but the fat that your body's storing. So having a blood sugar stabilizer like chromium picolinate, it's relatively cheap. I take 2 of these a day. I don't recommend that you do, but you could take 2 of these a day and it'll help you not only stay satiated, it'll also keep your energy levels pretty stable as well. Yohimbe also works for energy. It gives you like an energy boost, but I don't primarily take this for that. But as far as chromium picolinate, keeping you level and keeping you steady throughout your day and keeping you quote unquote full, like pseudo full, I think definitely helps. And last thing, I personally think this is the most important one, but here it is. This is dandelion root. I don't know if y'all can see that. I think my ring light is in the way, but this is dandelion root. And I take dandelion root for multiple reasons, but the 2 biggest reasons as to why I take dandelion root is going to be for their what is the word? I'm trying to give you guys the correct word instead of like giving you bro science, but it helps get rid of excess water weight. And excuse me while I fix this chair again. So it helps with excess water weight. And in addition to helping with excess water weight, it also helps metabolizing the fat that's on your liver. For you guys who drink a lot, if you drink a lot and you notice you're starting to get a gut, but you don't eat that much, it's because your liver is getting fat. One of the best ways, aside from cardio, believe it or not, like running and shit like that, the shit that you don't want to do, besides cardio, dandelion root is going to help you burn off fat. All right, it'll help you burn off fat, help you stay in shape, get rid of the excess water. But with all things, fellas, this is just a supplement. All it is something to help you get there. It's not supposed to get you there, right? So don't start taking all this shit and then assume you're gonna get shredded. Meanwhile, your nutrition is still ass. 2 things that will impair your weight loss journey or just your gym journey in general is gonna be your mind and your discipline, right? If you don't have the proper nutrition to get in shape, it doesn't matter how many supplements that you take. It's not gonna get you there. Like I remember one time last year during the summer, I was at the gym, right? I don't go to that gym anymore, in case one of y'all creepos trying to run up on me. I don't go there anymore, nigga. So I remember I went to the gym that I was visiting at that time, and I was training. I had a tank top on, but it was like a stringy tank top, so like a lot of like my upper body was visible, and it was very early in the morning, so there wasn't a lot of people around. But there was this kid and like a group of friends around and shit, and this kid was like relatively overweight, and I overheard him talking about taking steroids. And I'm looking at his physique, and I'm like, bro, you're low-key built like Terrio. How is it that you're taking steroids? I didn't say that to him, obviously, but, I said it in my head. And I asked him, I was like, you're taking steroids? He's like, yeah, man, this is my 2nd cycle. I looked at him, I'm like, bro, you're cooked. I was like, dog, you're cooked, So, gentlemen, don't go out of your way trying to take steroids and all this shit thinking it's a shortcut. It's not. You're going to fuck up your hormones, especially if you haven't done the due diligence to do something called a post-cycle therapy, which if you don't know what a PCT is or you're running something right now and you're not using a PCT, welcome gyno, because that's exactly what you're going to have. So make sure you take your PCT, do your research, but more so than that, make sure you actually fucking try. I mean that. Like, literally actually try. Like, how about you stop eating the bullshit for like a week, right? Just feel it out. See how it goes. Stop eating the bullshit. Work out regularly. And when you work out, this will be the last thing I say. When you work out, please, for the love of God, do not work out with the objective in mind to, attract more women or get more respect, because That doesn't generally happen. I'll tell y'all this story before I close. So when I was with my ex, I was, I was overweight, depressed, all that shit. Like, honestly speaking, I wouldn't want to fuck me at that time. And I totally understand that, right? But when I was overweight, I thought getting shredded was going to be like the way to get my revenge, right? Like, oh, my ex is going to see me and she's going to be upset that she lost me. Bro, I'm sorry to tell y'all this, and this is a brutal truth that I think every guy needs to learn, especially the young ones, because a lot of y'all seem to think that, if you were a good guy, she's going to regret you till she dies. No, she's not. No, she's not, bro. She's not going to regret you at all. In fact, she probably won't even remember you. So to finish my story, we had broken up like 4 or 5 months have went by, and I was on my gym shit heavy. Like, when I tell you I use the gym as therapy, I literally mean that. I not only did I work in the gym, but I was in the gym for hours, right? So I would just work out, work, go home, wake up, work out, work, go home. I repeated that cycle for 6 months, and I got in the best fucking shape of my life, and I mean that. Like, bro, I looked like a Viltrumite. On some real shit, I looked like a Viltrumite. And, for me, my perspective, I'm thinking I'm a new man, right? Like, I've completely changed, my demeanor, my discipline, how I move, how I do things. It's all different. Everything has changed. I'm the 2.0. I am who I was supposed to be, right? Yo, so I'm in Manhattan and I'm at the ferry. And I'm at the ferry. It's like kind of like summer, autumn-ish. So we're talking like mid-September-ish, right? Where you could still wear like a t-shirt or a long sleeve shirt and get away with it and you won't be cold. And while I was waiting for the ferry, I seen my ex. I seen her and she was standing right behind me. Bro, when I tell you I turned around, I turned around full body so she could see me head to toe. Bro, this girl did not even flinch. Give me the buzzer. This girl did not even flinch. For a second, I really thought I had it. Like, I was like, oh, this is my time. I could pull up on her, show her what she's been missing. Fam, she did not give a fuck. So I say all that to say, your health goals need to be your health goals. Like, if you want to see yourself look like a Greek statue, then go for that. If you want to see yourself as like a big body power lifter, then, bro, go for it. Whatever your goal is, make that your goal, but that goal has to be yours, right? You can't be doing this in hopes that you get more chicks, or you do this in hopes that, you get X, Y, and Z, because odds are, yes, in some instances, being good looking and being handsome and attractive and fit definitely does have its positives. Don't ever get confused about that. It has its positives. But if you sincerely think that the world is just going to hand you everything on a silver platter just because your fat ass lost some weight, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So I'm just telling y'all that right now. But anyway, the music has ran out, which means I have been talking for long enough. I want to thank you so much for being a part of this podcast and hanging out with me. If you're listening to this on Spotify, come on over to YouTube and hit the subscribe button. If you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't hit the subscribe button, we pump these bitches out every week. Every week there's a new episode. Always got something to talk about. And throughout the rest of the week, we also sprinkle out, the clips from the podcast as well. There might be some of you who want to see the old format videos come back. I noticed there was a dip in some of the views with, going forward with the new format. And that will come back. But A, when I fucking feel like it. And B, I'm not going to lie to y'all, I like making podcasts way more than I like sitting here talking about, stories that don't really have that much to it. Like, I'm not one of these creators who's going to sit here and make fluff pieces, because I personally don't give a shit, right? But what I will do is talk and give my opinion on things and not draw it out. So the best way I can do that, give you something that's edifying, entertaining, and, something that just doesn't get drawn out, like I said before, is by making it in podcast format. So the podcast format isn't really going to go away. My only hope is that you could rock with me as we go through this transition. But anyway, I've been talking long enough. Thank y'all so much for watching the podcast. Next week, we're going to be talking about Shannon Sharpe, Kanye West, and Shadur Sanders, and not the attack on black men, but just the image that is being proliferated in today's media. That and some more. But once again, thank you so much. I appreciate you for being here. I hope you have a great day, great week, and a great life. But until then, I'll talk to you soon. Peace.